SuzanneClores, author of Memoirs of a Spiritual Outsider, is a successful Chicago area writer who is now working on her first novel. Novel writing, she says, is not for the faint of heart.
It's long. It's a unwieldy process. I think it starts differently for everybody, but for me it started with scenes, and all of the scenes had the same characters in them.
Once she realized her characters belonged to more than separate short stories, Clores began to combine them into one novel. It has taken her 8 years to do so, and she still isn't done. One of the hardest parts, she said, is making sure you understand your own plot.
It seemed like it was a pacing problem, and so I kept shortening the prose and making things more action-oriented and punchier, and the truth is that the plot was not what they call an A plot. It was a B plot. So it wasn't strong enough to be pushing the story through.
Still, Clores said, knowing what she wants to say helps a lot. So does the fact that her first book was very successful.
It was big because I was pretty young. I was 26 when I signed the contract, and I was 30 when I did my first reading of the hardback book. And it was a time when publishing was, or the whole economy was, the sky's the limit. And so they printed a lot of copies for the first edition. And that gave it a presence that has lasted, 11 years.
That success has carried her through the decade. Since then, Clores has married and started a family, moved cities, and worked on numerous smaller projects. She blogs for Gaiam, a wellness website, as well as The Nervous Breakdown, an online literary magazine. She also teaches yoga and coaches aspiring writers, and is bit by bit working on her own memoirs. If life has taught her one thing, she said, it's to follow your passions. She has 2 pieces of advice for young writers.
Number 1 is you have to pursue your ideas. And then number 2 is figure out how to navigate the market.
But, she cautions, good writers don't mold themselves just to suit a market. The most important thing a writer can do, though she laughs at the cliche, is to be yourself.
I would say pursue your ideas, pursue your interests, and start to build a platform. My other piece of advice is make sure it stays fun, and just rearrange your priorities so that you can live and also write and have a writing career.